Morning, guys, and welcome to another weekly forecast. This forecast is for the upcoming week, the week of the 13th of April, 2025. Now let's jump right into it. I've got quite a few pairs to discuss. Some of my favorite pairs are the GBP pairs. So let's start off. First on my list is the GBPNZD. Let's start off from the weekly time frame. So as we notice here from the weekly time frame, we are on an obvious uptrend. With this past week, we had a reversal or a bearish candle, stopping at this level right here, which acted as support. Now let's zoom in. Let's go to our daily. So we're sitting quite nicely on this level of support here. What I'm expecting for this week is that price should make a move to the upside once again, right? Because we have that nice support level and we are in an uptrend. But what can also happen is that there's a potential for price to break through this level, which I don't think will happen, but there's a potential that price can break through this level to come to this trend line. Now, it's possible that price may come to the trend line and just form a wick and then move back to the upside to continue the upward move, to continue with the trend. That's a possibility. I hope not. So what that would look like is maybe you might have a daily candle or maybe even a 4-hour candle, a spike, come straight through this level, wick out, and then make a move to the upside. I don't think it will happen, but it is a possibility. But my bias is that price will move to the upside. Now, what should we look for to enter a trade to the upside? Well, this is the current sell-off trend line. This is the current bearish trend line. So what you would want is you would want price to break this trend line. So you want a bullish candle, breaking this trend line, retesting somewhere outside this trend line, and then continue on to the upside. That will be the confirmation that price is actually moving to the upside once again. All right. So you can look for that on, I usually use my 50-minute time frame for such entries. So what I would want is for price to do this. Break this trend line, come back, retest, reject the area, then make its way up to the upside. Once you have this break, if you're one of the early traders, you might feel like jumping in the trade, or you can be a little bit more cautious and you can wait for it to reject and then go to the upside. Let me show you an example. So we have a nice example here. Price was in a downward trend. Price broke this trend line, and then continued with its way to the upside. A more conservative trader would have waited for a retest somewhat like this, saw that price was rejecting the area, and then entered the trade. All right, so you're looking for something like that for you to enter the trade. So that's the GBPNZD. Let's go to the GBP CAD. Similar. Let's take a look at the 1 week. So this is somewhat of what I was speaking about over here. When I said that price could potentially break through, form a wick, and then continue to the upside, that's what it looks like. Price broke through, formed a wick, touched the trend line, made its way back up. And what I'm expecting for this period, this coming week, is that price is going to go to the upside now. All right? Because it's already touched that trend line. It's already wicked out. Rejected it, which is what caused the wick to form. This bullish candle here is what caused that wick. And now I expect price to make its way to the upside. So this is what I explained in the previous currency pair. So price came to the trend line, rejected, broke through the trend line, made its way up, retesting the area now. And what I expect is for price to make its way to the upside because this has already broken the trend line. This is the retest. This should be now moving to the upside. Once you get a bullish engulfing candle or a bullish candle that breaks this trend, that's it. That's your confirmation. Price is going to the upside. So let's take a look. So you want this here now. You want price to break this trend line. Once price breaks this trend line, smooth sailing to the upside. All right. Similar for the GBP AUD. Prices at support, very close to that trend line. Might touch the trend line, wick out, and then go to the upside. I doubt it, but it's possible. See, price tried very hard to break this support, wasn't able to do so. Tried to make a move to the upside, got rejected on Friday. I better look at it from the 4 hours. Didn't manage to break the trend line, didn't manage to break the support. So once again, I want price to break this trend line. Once it breaks this trend line, that's our confirmation that price is going to make a move to the upside and then continue going higher. We can also potentially break this support, but if it breaks the support, I'm looking for it to reject off of this trend line because this is a well-respected trend line. This trend line was established since the 20th of February. All right. So that's what I expect the move to be. Our next pair, the NZDUSD. Now we had a massive bullish candle this past week on the NZDUSD. We're currently sitting at an area that served as both support and resistance. Twice price previously came to this area and rejected. The massive candle the previous week. I'm expecting pretty much the same the coming week. So I expect a rejection off of this area because we have a trend line and an area of support / resistance. So what I want to see here to confirm to me that price is going to go where I expect it to go is for price to break this trend line, retest, and then keep going. All right. So let's take it down for 15 minutes. This is what I want to see. Break, retest, reject, continue downwards. That's what I want to see. Might not get all the way to the here. Might just get to this level. But that's what I'm expecting. I expect pretty much the same on the AUD USD because the price action is quite similar to the NZD USD. Yeah, the trend line, we're at support and resistance. This here, this zone, the support resistance zone, has been tested more often than on the NZD USD. Pretty much the same expectation, pretty much the same movements. All right. So again, I expect a break and retest. breakthrough, retest, reject, make its way down. And these moves would correspond with these moves. So once the NZD and the AUD sell, the GBP NZD, the GBP AUD will buy. Moving on to the other pair. Now we've been having a massive run with the Euro GBP over the past 2 weeks. Let's take a look at the weekly here. We're coming up on support. We're just off of it. Maybe one daily candle. And I don't see anything in the vicinity that would stop us from filling out this candle and getting to support. What's a potential is that price can come retrace back to this trend line and then continue up to the upside, or it might just continue buying off of this minor support region and continue to the upside to our resistance level here. It is quite possible also that price can break through that resistance level and make its way all the way up here. Because this level here seems like a much greater resistance level than this one. So it's quite possible that price can get all the way up here in the coming week or weeks. Now, last one, USD CAD. Looking at it from the weekly, we had a massive sell-off this past week, and price has been in a bearish market for quite some time, since beginning of March. We've been selling off. Now, it's possible that this might have been the last week that price sold off, because we're at this very significant level and price can reject off of this area. What I'm thinking is that there's a possibility that price can continue breaking through this level, to get to this trend line, and then after it gets to this trend line, it rejects. Now, it can do that possibly via selling off for maybe 1 or 2 more days, and then retracing and going back to the upside, which on a weekly candle would give you a wick. So price would look like this with that wick forming, if that happens. But that's going to appear that way on the weekly candle. On the daily candle, you'll have a full bearish candle. All right? So that's what I am hoping for. But there is a possibility that price can just reject this area and then start to the upside once more. I'm certain that if Trump has another call on tariffs, we'll get through this. We'll get through this support area, and we'll definitely get down to this trend line. So that's it. That's what I think. That's my forecast for this upcoming week. Tell me what you guys think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? How's trading been for you guys? Just like the video, comment, leave a comment, share it with your friends, tell your friends about the channel. I'm trying to grow this channel. It's a fairly new channel. I started a few weeks ago, maybe a month or 2, and I'm trying to get followers, get subscribers. So leave a comment, share, tell your friends about it. And I hope I see you guys again on the channel.